also that Commissioner Cardona is not here. When he gets here, we'll make note of that. And we'll have our prayer for Elder Brown.
Our gracious Father, we thank you for bringing us all here safely. Thank you for your watch care over us. We ask for your continued guidance, directing hand over the schools and over the people here. May your will be done in all things. Continue to watch over us through the day, and we ask for your Holy Spirit again to come and be a part of our life. For this I pray and I thank you in your gracious name of Jesus. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honoring the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Do you have any further comments? Agenda item number 4, certificates of completion awards and bond. Let these be put into the minutes. ASI qualified stormwater inspector for Lucerato. Introduction to ARC GIS Pro Wendy Grant. Our CJIS security, privacy security role, Genevieve Martinez. Texas Veterans Commission Safety Planning, Ray Areta and Natalie Howard. Christine Jones. Texas Veterans Commission Addressing Veterans Homeless Suicide, Ray Areta, Natalie Howard, Christine Jones. County Judges and Commissioners Association of Texas, completion by Commissioner Gary Martin. Let the minutes reflect that Commissioner Perdola has joined the meeting now. It's 10:34 a.m. Okay. Agenda item number 5, our extension activity report. There's no one here from AgriLife.
Believe they're worn out, Judge.
I believe there are two. So I know that all of y'all have to go to training, correct? 11:30? 11:30? Okay, so we'll try to move along quickly. We move to agenda item number 6. We have Gary Martin, Commissioner Precinct 1, conduct a public hearing regarding changes to the Wilson County tax abatement policy at 10 a.m. Discuss and take action to adopt the revised Wilson County tax abatement policy. So I'll recess regular session. We are now in.
Judge,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
hang on, yeah, I'm sorry, I got the wrong word here, should have been set, not because that, this Your Honor and I didn't cross paths soon enough before, this was on there, so it's simply to set a public hearing.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to set a public hearing on February 9th at 10 a.m. to discuss changes to the Wilson County tax abatement policy.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Aiken to set the date as February 9th, correct? 10 o'clock, Commissioner?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other discussion regarding this motion? Good with that? All right. Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against nay. Ayes have it. Motion passes for February 9th. Move to agenda item number 7. We have Commissioner Russell King, Precinct 2, discuss and take action to reorganize county department by placing the Health and Safety Department under supervision of the county fire marshal effective January 26, 2026. But before I start, Commissioner, we're not going to be talking about salaries or any individual at this point. Otherwise, we would probably have to go into executive session. Is that right, Mr. Brown?
Point of changing the employment status of anyone, then I think
It's not, it's just, it's really.
or, yes, I mean, they're realigning staff and the supervisors, we probably should go into executive session.
All this is, and we spoke to the fire marshal the other day, it's basically just taking health and safety department and sliding that into underneath his purview.
But he's gonna have a new, you're gonna have new supervisors, right? It's kind of a realignment of their staff.
Yes.
In the fire marshal's department.
And does it affect the budget, because then we
Sure.
would have to change,
Would have
make
to move
budget
funds.
amendments to move salaries and benefits to the appropriate department if that's what's happening.
Your recommendation?
I mean, I do think we should go into executive session if there's going to be any discussion about the movement of staff or certain staff under different supervisors. And all the budget issues should be addressed for sure, but if you're dealing with particular staff and who they're going to be reporting to, consideration.
Okay. All right, pursuant to section 551.071 through section 551.076 of the Texas Government Code, it is 10:37 a.m. and we will recess regular session and go into executive session. Time is 10:37.
Who are we inviting?
I would like to have HR, our county auditor in there as well, fire marshal, and council, of course, that goes without saying. Okay. Okay, we are now back in regular session, 11:21 a.m.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner King, to come out of executive session. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. I'm sorry, where's Commissioner Biddle?
Oh, maybe
Oh,
it's-
okay. Let's give him a few minutes before he gets back. All right, we move to agenda item number 8. We have Ms. Dawn Lozick Barnett, County Tax Assessor Collector, discuss and take action on renewing the Texas Parks and Wildlife County Boat Agent Agreement.
Judge, we didn't take action on this.
Don't need to.
We came out,
We came out.
We came out, they did.
okay, did we take and say that there was no action? I'm sorry, if we did, I missed it.
There is no action.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I have the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department County Boat Agent Agreement. The county attorney's office has already reviewed it and does not see any issues with it. It's a renewal, for my office to process, boat and motor registrations, renewals and titles. I just need to get this approved.
Is it, do we do that every year?
It's,
We've done it once since.
yeah, it's only been once. They're updating the system and they've asked for a new agreement.
Commissioner Leonard, what's on agenda item number 8?
Make a motion that we renew the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department County Boat Agent Agreement as presented by Josh Barnett.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, second by Commissioner King. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 8? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 9, now we'll go back to Ms. Barnett. Discuss and take action on the state of Texas upgrade to the DMV County Network fiber line installation from D Street into the tax office building with a cost of $5,800. This fiber will provide service to the entire building.
Okay, so the state of Texas is wanting to upgrade my internet service to a fiber line. They have hired Frontier to install the fiber line along D Street, and they are asking for us to pay the cost from running it from D Street into my building. We have verified with them that, Jason, how many lines, was it 6 lines? Six fibers?
6 strands.
6 strands of fiber, and they've told us that we can utilize the extra strands to run the tax side of my office, so all other aspects of my office can be used on this line as well.
In my understanding, this is needed because of the upgrades that DMV is doing, it's just, it needs to have that high speed.
Correct. A couple months ago, we had and let me tell y'all why I need it for the tax side as well, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had a issue. We discovered a strand of fiber from the courthouse to my office had broken. So Jason and Colton had to figure out how to fix that because my entire office went down. So they had to figure out how to fix that. We do have some concerns that another fiber could break in that line. So this would solve the issue by running this into my office.
Where would that come
All
out
right,
of?
I saying that?
I think it's me.
John, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she brought it to the courts for approval because she's requesting it to come out of the, not out of her department, but out of the contingency line item in non-department reserve for unexpected expenses.
Are we
Thank you.
good there?
I'm sorry?
Are we good there on that?
There is money, allocated in that budget.
And the quote, we did ask several, we've had 4 people come out to give us a quote. Only one of them have responded, and it's the Housley Group. And once again, it's $5,800.
And that's, they're gonna bore underneath, correct?
They're gonna bore underneath my, drive-through, correct?
Yeah, that's much better than hanging it over the top.
Correct.
I see you smiling there. Dizzy. All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion on agenda item number 9.
Make a motion to approve the $5,800 to upgrade the DMV County Network fiber line installation from A Street to the tax office building. Fiber
To be taken out of the contingency.
to be taken out of contingency.
Second.
Well, that's on it. It's not remembered.
All right, motion made by Commissioner King, second by Commissioner Curtis. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 9? Hear none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Agenda item number 10, discussion only, rural ambulance grant program, House Bill 3000. Commissioners, this came to us real quickly, and I've asked for the chiefs, come on up, chief. This is a $350,000 grant. It can only be awarded to only one ESD annually, so next year, the next one. So I've asked the chiefs to get together, kind of figure out who really needs it, so that there's no confusion when I submitted this application for you. And we have come to ESD 2, right? And then we'll follow later, so if we get the grant. So I did get a call last night from Representative Deanne regarding this, and he was not aware that I already submitted it on y'all's behalf, because we're on a deadline. I think it's at the end of this month.
Correct.
So it's been submitted. And then if we end up with a grant, which looks like we're gonna get that grant, that's a no-brainer, then we'll bring it back to the court to ask to accept the funding. So this, I'm just opening up for discussions. Yes?
Yeah, if I may, Judge, because Judge and I had this conversation. So this follows under the SB 22 money, so it's very simple process, but it will, follow this, it will follow same suit. We will get funded in the entirety of, I believe it's $300,000? $350,000. And so what I advised the judge then was, once that money is received into the county depository, then we need to be able to come back to the court to certify that revenue, and the court would then need to make a decision or vote on dispersing that money to an entity, and then we would have to then have an agreement with the entity to be able to provide the reporting, because technically that money is being awarded to Wilson County. We are then dispersing the money to a different entity, but we will still be held responsible for all of the grant reporting like we do currently for the Sheriff's Department and the County Attorney's Department as well.
Correct, and so just a little bit about that House bill. It was passed through the 89th legislature. It's its first year that they are allowing, I guess, people to put in for the grants. In that sense, it has to go through the judge, filling out the application through the state website. On that application, he would basically select the person that they want, or an entity that they would want to award that money to with a backup. In the process of speaking with the judge and the other EMS directors within our county, and staying in communications with them, we kind of talked about the possibilities of who would be first on needs for that grant, but also making sure that, hey, if we go for it this year, because it looks like it's going to be available every year after this year, that we take turns in the sense of like on a necessity basis and kind of rotate and work well together so everybody can take advantage of this grant. So it's based off of the amount of the census of the county. So we fall under $350,000 that would get awarded to the county, and then from there, right, we have, of 5 years. We'll be able to order the ambulance, and then from there, we have 5 years to receive the ambulance, and make that payment. So it's 4 EMS units and any needed equipment for that unit as well.
And Chief, that doesn't cover an ambulance 100%, correct?
So it can, but again, it just be specific to what all equipment, the type of ambulances, there's different types, sizes and chassis and things like that. But essentially for the units that, are being ran within the county, not in its entirety. It would pay for the ambulance is what we're looking at, but then we would still have to, at least for my department, we just have to purchase the equipment and the supplies for it. But it does help out a lot. I mean, not having to pay for an ambulance and just having to pay for the supplies and equipment is way better than trying to pay for everything for that unit.
So just the basic ambulances that we're running in the county, that 350,000 would just pay for basic.
On average, yes, sir, on average, for what we've been looking to, because we have already been kind of specking out and getting feelers from other vendors, we're looking about that range, about 300 to 350. That would suit our needs, right, for our department. I can't speak on behalf of the other districts. But, we would be replacing the unit, so a lot of that equipment that's already on there and supplies would just get moved over to that unit. A little bit more cost effective on that as well.
Chief, I do have a question though. Can you clarify, did you say that the money would not have to be expended during the year that the county receives the money?
Correct. So a payment, the way it typically works is essentially we would have to place the order for the unit. Once it's placed, it can take anywhere, depending on the vendor, a year to 2 years for it to, right now we're looking at 2 years for a lot of places. But it'll take about 2 years, and depending on who you get it financed through, you would have to pay. Once you receive that unit, a lot of finance companies, you wouldn't have to make a payment until a year afterward. So we wouldn't be able to place that order for the unit until the funds are received. But in the sense of accepting everything and starting those payments, it wouldn't be until about 2 years.
But money would not be, we're not, or if we give you $350,000, you're not turning around and sending the vendor that money at the time of the order.
No, ma'am.
So then for reporting purposes, we would just need to know, confirm that the state's not going to require us to expend it, because the way SB 22 works now is we have to expend it within the fiscal year, because if we can't provide proof that we do, then we have to return the funds back to the state. So if this particular grant has language in there that it doesn't have to be expended by the entity, just by the county providing you, and that's all we have to report, and that's sufficient enough, then that's okay. I just would like to confirm that before any money is distributed from the county. Or do we get the money in the depository and the treasurer just holds on to it in a separate fund until we're ready to issue the payment to the department so that they can make the first payment in 2 years?
So for my understanding and research, we would have to be awarded that money. Like the entity would have to be awarded that money. Once we are awarded that money, then we can place the order. The purchase of that vehicle, or accepting of the delivery of the vehicle just has to fall within those 5 years.
And I thank you guys for coming to meet with me, and y'all made it very easy for me to fill out the application, because I didn't have to worry about who was gonna go first, second.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. And item number 11, Commissioner Russell King, discuss take action on precinct 2 maintainer that has been accepted to the FERC program to become salvage material.
So I ran this through with the county attorney's office as well. So in the truck program with this maintainer, we have to obviously punch a holes in the motor, and then we have to cut the maintainer in half. So it would be no good, you can't do anything with it at that point, part of the truck program. With that, I'm asking the court to classify this as salvage material, because metal sitting in the yard. So, and I don't know if there's any more we need to add to that.
No, because it's gone through the turf, and it's like qualification, the court needs to either determine that it's salvage or surplus. And if it's salvage, then it can be broken up and sold and money put into yes. If it's surplus, it's got a value, and, then it has to be sold at public auction. But it's my understanding that it's really salvage.
I think that's precluded by the program. They want you to destroy it to make sure that it's taken out.
That is not usable.
It cannot be used after that, so it will be salvaged.
Yes.
That's the reason I brought it to the court for, you know, the, how y'all solve this. So,
Have you destroyed it yet?
Not yet, I want to.
Because they have to
bring it
have
y'all's attention
photographs
first.
and all of that
Yes, sir.
documentation.
So I'll make a motion to, have the maintainer that we have Turk, the 140 Caterpillar blade, as salvage material.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Martin. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 11? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 12, is Brenda Trevino, our county auditor, discuss and take action on resolution for the 2026-2027 Violent Crimes Against Women Act grant number 3015411.
Judge, this is the grant for the Violent Crimes Against Women Restorative Justice Team that's out of the Office of Governor. We have a resolution that is now required to submit the application for the pre-application of this grant, which supplies the attorney salary position in the county attorney's office. I mean, read the resolution, Judge.
Yes.
Whereas the Wilson County Commissioners Court finds it in the best interest of the citizens of Wilson County that the Violent Crimes Against Women Restorative Justice Team be operated for 2026-2027. And whereas Wilson County Commissioners Court agrees to provide applicable matching funds for the said project as required by the Violence Against Women Act grant application. And whereas Wilson County Commissioners Court agrees that in the event of loss or misuse of the Office of the Governor funds, Wilson County Commissioners Court assures that the funds will be returned to the Office of the Governor in full. Whereas Wilson County Commissioners Court designates Brenda Trevino, Wilson County Auditor, as the grantee's authorized official. The authorized official is given the power to apply for, accept, reject, alter, or terminate the grant on behalf of the applicant agency. Whereas Wilson County Commissioners Court designates Kayla Prado, the grant coordinator, as the grantee's financial officer. The financial officer is given the power to submit the financial and/or programmatic reports or alter a grant on behalf of the applicant agency. Now therefore be it resolved that Wilson County Commissioners Court approves the submission of the grant application for the Violent Crimes Against Women Restorative Justice Team to the Office of Governor. And once the vote is taken, then I will print a clean copy for signature, or I ask Kayla to bring one up.
All right, I'll entertain a motion on agenda item number 12.
Make a motion that we accept the Violent Crimes Against Women Act. It is grant number 3015411, as presented by the county auditor.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner King. Any other discussion regarding this agenda item number 12? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Now therefore be it resolved that Wilson County Commissioners Court approves submission of the grant application for the Violent Crimes Against Women Restorative Justice Team to the Office of the Governor, passed and approved by the Commissioners Court of Wilson County in Floresville, Texas, on this 26th day of January 2026. Do we have?
I'll bring a clean copy, because the copy that the court received has the comment
Okay.
section, so I
Will we
just
get it
text
before-
Caitlin and asked her to bring a copy.
Yeah, if you can, before all the members
Yes.
have to go to class.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
go grab it.
Well, we're submitting it for,
All right, we move to agenda item number 13, discuss and take action to ratify and approve 5-year copier lease between Wilson County and Toshiba Financial Services, previously executed by the county judge on 9/4/2025 to authorize payment and performance under the lease. Did we had a new contract that came through the lower price, is that correct? What did we go through? We went from 303 to what? How much?
197.
197.
This is the last one we did, the last quarter.
That we had amended that before.
The piece of paper I have says $194.40.
That's where I believe that motion was on the last one, that's why.
Yeah. So it's $197 or $194?
$194.40.
There's an error on the original lease agreement. It has the billing address as 810th Street, and that is not the correct billing address. Probably should be the auditor's office. That needs to be corrected.
Okay, we can get that correct.
I have a question. Do y'all have a color copier that came out of the permits office? It's been returned with the toner and the computer
color
that
copy,
the septic was using?
No, we don't have a copier that belongs to the septic department. The septic department has their own copier. When I left, I didn't have a copier for the building. We have our desk copiers, but the building copier was left in the permits and building department.
Are you saying somebody took one?
That's what I was told.
Who?
It was a brand new.
Who was it?
Brand new color copier. That was paid for out of our budget.
Brenner?
Right, well, I could have took Jason Wood's copier, but I thought we worked it out where Jason kept the copier at his desk and Wendy took the copier that was at her desk. I didn't know that that was an issue. Everybody has a copier. So Jason Wood had my computer and my copier purchased out of emergency management funds. And when Jason was moved from emergency management to permits and development, I left the computer and the printer with him. That was purchased out of my budget. Therefore, when Wendy was moved from permits and development to my department, she should come with a computer and a printer. That was purchased out of permits and development. So instead of having IT, which he did come over and move all of this stuff around, I thought it was agreed upon to everybody to leave it. But if it's a big deal, I will go get my I will have asked that IT go get my copier and my computer from Jason Wood, and they can have their stuff back.
Printer, not copy.
Yeah, can I just
Different.
clarify,
There's-
it's not interchangeable, copy machines, not,
Right. So we're talking about two different.
we're talking about a desk,
Well,
desk purchase.
terminology is what you're saying, is that there's a difference between a professional
Yeah, we're,
printer like what is in that room right there versus a desktop copy machine.
So I think, Commissioner Fuller, what you're talking about is a desktop, and what this agenda is.
Color copier that septic needs, because they need a color copier to do their, whatever they do in their septic programs.
That is not the issue at hand right now. The issue at hand is the large.
Okay, hold on. Is this copy machine missing from there? Is,
It's a printer.
It's a desktop.
it's a printer.
it's a printer,
Yes, sir.
is it still there?
No, the one that was purchased was Wendy.
Okay,
Right.
so does the septic person not have?
IT is getting.
They will have one this week.
Okay. Okay.
Just want to make sure everybody's got what they need to do their job.
Okay, we get on subject you were discussing. I'll accept the, I'll entertain a motion for agenda item number 13.
I'll make a motion to approve a 5-year copier lease agreement between Wilson County and Shiloh Financial Services, executed by the county judge on 9/4/2025, with the update of the address to the auditor's office on the contract.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Bacon. Do we have any other discussion regarding agenda item number 13?
Yeah, so all the bills we have for today, if I multiply $194.40 times 4, that's $777.60. the bill is for $941.78. That would include time that this contract was not approved. The thing supposedly was not plugged in until here recently. So I'm just wondering how much of that bill we should really be paying. Because you certainly weren't using it in September or October, or maybe even November, because it wasn't even in the building until November. So why are we paying for something we didn't have?
My understanding, we did have that printer in there, it just was not unwrapped.
Yeah, that's been sitting in storage.
But I mean, you weren't using it, so why would you be paying for it if you weren't using it?
Well, this is part of the building process when we're putting the building together.
Can you get that bill, Ms. Trevino? Because I wanna know why there's a almost $200 difference between $194.40 times 4 months.
I would venture to say it's because the billing began at the time of the contract being authorized by the county
Well, it
judge.
says,
Regardless of it being unwrapped or used, we
it
entered
says,
into.
it says on here the bill period is 10/15 through 1/15. 11, 12, so that's only 3 months, so that 3 months at,
Was that the price before it was renegotiated? I believe that's what it was.
That is correct.
can you have them bring that bill up so we can see what's in that bill, please, ma'am? And also, I know there's been a lot of animosity and discussion and accusations and everything else over this device. And I just want to remind the court that this, and the department heads for that matter, that all leases are to be approved by this court before they're executed. And there is an attorney general's opinion to that effect, dated July 10th of 2001. And it says, and this was, a DA's office actually brought this up, and it says, because the multi-year form contract your predecessor signed neither provides for levying and collecting a tax to pay the interest and to create a sinking fund, nor permits the county to terminate the contract at the end of each year, it creates a constitutional debt, and that is prohibited basically by the Constitution. So this court was doing what it's supposed to do, and that is making sure that all these things come to court and that they're approved by court. And all lease agreements must have and be terminatable every year. I went and looked at the main contract for this one, and it is there, but I would venture to say that we have other leases that are not. So I would suggest that the county attorney's office sends a letter to the department heads to have them review their leases and make sure that they are terminated.
Well, that brings a question, Ms. Huron, if we've already initiated contracts, prior to me, prior to the last one, and we're still on some of those contracts, we legally bound to go back and say, wait a minute, we gotta renegotiate this thing.
No, not really. The purpose, the purpose is that you cannot, allocate money for future budgets. And that's what leases are. You're entering into a lease for 5 years, so basically you're budgeting for this year and the next 4 years. And you can't really do that because you go by budget cycle. So the concern would be if there's any lease that will not, anticipated will not be, existing lease will not be budgeted for the next 4 years for something else, whether it's the copier or the trucks or whatever, then we have to be able to terminate because we're not gonna budget for the next 4 years. That's what the concern is. If there's any lease right now that we have that we anticipate will not be funded or budgeted in the future, then yes, we need to go back and say, you know, it's not likely we're gonna budget for the next 4 years. But that can be reviewed at budget time as well, to say, well, we have a lease agreement for vehicles, for the sheriff's office, for whatever, for the next 3 years, we're gonna budget it, so you're fine. If at any point during the budget time, we say, you know what, we don't wanna budget for that anymore, there's no money, or we don't need it anymore, then we have to go back to the vendor and say, we're not gonna budget for these future leases. So, no, you don't, but it is something in the future we need to look at when we're entering into leases and say, the court may not budget for the next, but we're not doing, we can't do that now. So we want to be able to put in these clauses, subject to revocation based on budget, funding for the future. So.
Yes, and I would say that we have,
That we need to look
we
at.
have at least 7 or 8 leases already in place now for copy machine. Several departments that are way much more than this one is, that I can tell you that I don't think we've ever brought to court that I know of, and some of them are still from leases from, the previous court.
Well, the court is, I mean, the county is very good about being contractually obligated, and meeting our obligations. And if we're gonna enter into a 4, 3-year, 5-year lease, the court has always been very diligent in making sure that that's budgeted in the future. But if there's any concern when budget time comes around and these leases are brought up, then at that time, you can always go back to the vendor and say, we're not gonna keep this from you can get out of this lease. And that's why we look at those provisions. So, no, you don't need to do that right now, but, if you're looking at future leases, we want to be able to get out if the county decides, we're not gonna budget for that anymore in the future.
Okay, we will make sure we stay on top of that.
I'll vote.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Meany, about the invoice in here, and the invoice is at the old rate. It's at $303.80 a month.
Because that was the agreed upon amount at the time of the submission of the contract.
And that is not what we paid them, because now the contract says $194.80.
I would defer to council on whether or not we are responsible for the original amount from the time that the agreement was, because that's what they're billing us for from the time that the original agreement was signed.
Well, if their invoice, is their invoice accurately reflect the contract?
It accurately reflects the original contract amount.
It does.
Prior to the amendment. and
Prior to the-
Yes, we are.
Ratifying.
Well, if the court is ratifying this contract, as of September, then yes, we're obligated, I mean, it was delivered, even though it was sitting there wrapped, so we got the product, they complied with their part, we accepted it, it's still pending approval, I mean, it's been in use, so yes, we haven't said we are obligated, but then it was amended, I guess last month or the last 2 meetings, so now we should only be bound by the reduced amount. But it does say here as of September, as long as it reflects with that contract, and that's what you're doing in this, because there's still a live motion, is you're ratifying that contract, which would be
That's what I wanted to make sure we were right.
yes.
Right.
Well, I didn't hear the word ratify in this motion, so can you restate your motion?
Commissioner Kenny?
Oh, I'm sorry, we were looking at, I thought you.
So, my motion, I make a motion to approve a 5-year.
Well,
Here you
you
go.
already have a motion on the floor,
So
so you
just
can do
add-
an amendment
Just,
to your
there's
motion.
the wording right there.
If you want to amend your motion.
I'll amend my motion to add, to ratify the current payment,
No.
Ratify the contract.
Contract.
the contract.
That is it, yes, that's exactly as it says here, to ratify the contract previously executed by the county judge on September 4th, 2025, and to authorize payment and performance under which to ratify that you're not entering into a new contract today.
Ratify to approve the contract for 5-year lease. Wilson County, Toshiba, and Toshiba Financial Services. As of 9/14.
pilot, so it's very low too, they're not getting the max right now,
Okay.
so.
He basically read what's on the.
It's red, on here.
Okay.
May I comment, Judge?
Yes.
I would just ask that, Ms. Stafford, if you wouldn't mind, just for clarification, since you have the point of contact that was able to reduce the dollar amount, if you would just please clarify with that person if we would be receiving revised invoice based on the amended contract, or be held liable to pay this one. Since you approved it, I didn't know if you had already done that or not, so if you would just
I've never seen
verify.
it. Are y'all getting the invoices? I asked, I think his name is Edgar.
Mhm.
Edgar with Toshiba about to verify where he's even sending the invoices, because I've never seen them.
Okay.
And I haven't heard back from him, so between me and Jason, we'll make sure the date, the address to your office is updated, and then we'll clarify that role between the two as we get with Edgar, who responds.
Okay, I wasn't sure who was doing the negotiating,
Yeah.
so I knew it wasn't anybody in my office, so it'd probably be better if one of you can just verify before the payment is issued on this one, and we'll hold on to this one. I know it's not part of the motion, but I wanted to make sure, before we move forward. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion, Commissioner? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Move to agenda item number 14, the Sulu Sarapa Permit Development Director, 14A1, utility permit, permit 854 Rios, Precinct 2, County Road 204, review and approval.
Yes, good morning. Commissioner King has already been given these plans for the Rio Water Supply Company, who proposes to put a 2-inch, 3/4 poly line inside a 2-inch HDPE casing. He's taken a look at the property already, at the site.
I've been out there, looked at everything. It's good to go.
What is that? What is that?
The utility line?
I don't know, what is that, some kind of company? What is it?
Three or four?
Is it water deal?
I'll make a motion to approve permit number 854 for Three Oaks, precinct 2 on County Road 204.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Mark. Any other discussion regarding agenda item 14A1? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 15, Gary Martin, Precinct 1 Commissioner, discuss take action on the Wilson County Jail Commissary audit.
Do we have an estimated completion date on that? The jail audit, jail commissary audit?
I would say by the end of February.
Why is it taking so long? I mean, they need this, they need to turn this into a jail commission.
I received, the 500 pages of bank reconciliations on December 23rd, so I've had 16 days to do it. So if, once it's completed, I'll bring it to the court for submission to the court.
But it was requested back in October. Is that soon enough? Sure. Right, she says, second quarter in February, is that soon enough for your commissary
No,
audit?
I didn't say the second quarter of February, I said by the end of February, and I've contacted the, I received an email forwarded to me from Jail Commission that says it is to be submitted to Jail Commission within 10 days of completion of the audit, as practically as possible, so 16 days is not good enough to complete the audit. I received it from the jail administrator on December 23rd, the bank reconciliations, which was the last item that I was looking on to get. And so, yeah, she did forward me the jail commission email back in October, and so I requested a list of items, and the last items were the bank reconciliations.
We move to agenda item number 16. We have Carl Fowler, our fire marshal, discuss and take action on place the county on man.
Green Judge Court, just hear my recommendation for reenacting the burn ban for Wilson County. Just due to the high winds, low humidity, and now we're gonna have some freeze-cured grasses after this freeze is over. So we're gonna be a lot more susceptible to roadside starts and these starts being able to take off in some of these fields that are unfriendly that we have. Just on the side of safety.
What's our surrounding counties doing right now, Mark?
They're all in burn ban still, they've never come out of them. My current KPI is, with the moisture, has gone down to 564, but prior to this moisture, I watched it climb from 560 over to 600. Our current average is 673 for the day. That's our average high. The max number on that scale is 800. It is recommended through forestry that anything over 600 receive a burn ban. Just with our observed fuel moistures the past month and a half, I felt comfortable taking that burn ban off. Those fuel moistures are still holding, but this freeze will definitely impact that. And I'm not willing to take that chance to see what that actually does. So it is my recommendation that we do reenact the burn ban.
All right, Court, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to reenact the burn ban for 91 days. January 26, 2026.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Morton. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 16? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Again, we have our Fire Marshal Carl Fowler, Fire Marshal Progress Report.
A little premature on my progress report. Last one I did was in late November. Planned on doing one next month, but so I don't have all the numbers that I had for y'all last time. But currently, to date, from the last time, we've had one investigation request, which was completed and closed. We did complete a wildland class with District 2 Fire to get some of their guys wildland trained. I believe we got about 8 of their members through. So they're now Type 2 firefighters in the wildland world. And just this past week, I started my TCOL, or Basic Police Officers Program, BPOC, with San Antonio College. So I've let folks know that I'm semi-available after between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. Those are the hours of my class that I'm actually in classroom time. So I've been returning phone calls. Haven't missed anything, but just so the court is aware, those are some winter hours that I have in late evenings. I do class, and that is Monday through Friday.
How long is your training that you to get your certification?
They told us we're going to graduate in October. It's 5 phases. This is phase 1. Goes to until March.
You won't have any problem. You'll be on it.
Thank you for your.
Thank you. Any questions? Good. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Agenda item number 18, we have our county sheriff, Jim Stewart, Sheriff's Office Progress Report. Okay, very good, so thank you. Agenda item number 19, we have Mr. Lozic, Tax Assessor, Collector, County Assessor, Collector Monthly Report. I'll give y'all a few minutes to take a look at that. She's not here to present. We move to agenda item number 20, Ms. Christina Moots, County Treasurer, discuss take action on the County Treasurer's financial report.
Okay, y'all don't have a report with y'all in regards because I am working with FI, with our software company, to get one matter cleared. Everything matches. I just can't hit that recon button because they're working on the older check that went through the bank. A good check, but it did go to the bank. It's an older check that was issued. And the one that will be helping me with it, with our financial institution, is been out of the office with a family member. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, because I've been in contact with them, the first Commissioner's Court of February. I will have that for y'all. But again, like I said, I went to the bank, and Recon checked all checks and deposited, or deposits, and everything has matched, besides this one check that I need them to be able to help me with in the system, and then I can physically finalize that report to show you correct numbers on the report. So I print it out, it's not gonna reflect December correctly for y'all with our numbers. So.
We'll have it by next.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, was in contact with them. The process was a little different. Once I got with them and found out who can handle that with our financial, software, they are looking into it. Like I said, that employee has been out of the office. And so, yes, I will get that on the Commissioners Court agenda, submitted to y'all, then that report can be reviewed. And as well as the, investment report, my quarterly investment report. So,
All right, Commissioner, since we have no documents to review, we're just gonna take no action until next court. She presents.
yes, yeah, definitely reflect in the minutes that I will have that report for y'all emailed and the, agenda item, be listed on it.
Very good. Thank you. Agenda item number 21, Jalen Bodford, Human Resource Specialist, presentation of payroll and personnel changes.
Good morning. Brett McClellan was hired as a patrol deputy for the sheriff's department, making $27.70 per hour or $60,500 annually, effective February 2nd.
Thank you. Agenda item number 22, Brenda Trevino, County Auditor, discuss and take action on county bills.
The total amount of bills for this Commissioners Court is $1,355,143.44. Attached to the back of your report, at the very last sheet, is an asset that is being purchased of $20,000 or greater. That is for Road and Bridge Precinct 3 from Caldwell County Chevrolet, a 2026 Chevy Silverado, VIN number ending in 5174, in the amount of $55,925.
And it was in my budget, correct?
That is correct. Did everybody get a copy? Oh, Jeff. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
You gave him the signature sheet.
I did.
Can you tell us what the Division 33 LLC charge to Expo Center was for?
Yeah, that was a charge whenever we did the septic from the back barn back to,
In the existing back.
yeah, the existing back barn. Back to reroute that line, they went in, put flowable fill in, so we can get correct compactions to that.
So we routed the water line back there.
That was up.
That's what we have, okay, guys.
make a motion to pay the bills for dated January 23rd, 2026, with the exception of the total chief of financial services until it's been resolved and approved by the county auditor's office. No, because I don't know what the amount is. She's got to get that correct. Or see if it's going to get correct.
Second.
So if it's not, if Toshiba does not agree to reduce the amount of that invoice, because it was for the first quarter that we had it, then the invoice would be processed as such according to council. If they do agree to reduce the invoice, then that invoice will, it's going to be removed from this set of bills anyway, which the cover sheet will then be changed once, we confirm that.
It's just one or the other two. So that's okay. Motion
So I
made.
would just,
Go ahead.
the motion,
You want to rephrase it?
well, if it, Ms. Ron, if Toshiba does not agree to reduce the invoice based on the amended contract for the copier, then I heard you say that we are held liable to paying the original amount. So if they don't agree to it, then the bills as presented would be approved as such. If they do, then that invoice is not going to be paid and would be removed, and then a new invoice would be submitted at the next commissioner's court.
I understand.
Right. Okay,
Either they are or they aren't. If
Correct.
they won't, then
Right.
it stands, that's fine.
so the cover sheet could potentially remain the same, or it would be ratified with a different amount at the next court for this court. It would be okay at all. See what I'm saying?
It should be reduced because they need to lower the price, from my understanding, effectively.
From the date of the.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
what's happened is that it hasn't got back to whoever does their billing, so they
Right.
don't know. This is what I'm assuming happened. So,
Unless the court wants to just approve payment regardless of their response, so we don't have to wait until the next court to pay it. Either way, we're paying it, whether it's the original amount or corrected amount.
I'm sure we can get an answer pretty quick from them. They came back pretty quick on reducing.
Yeah.
At least, so I don't see a problem.
I'm just gonna pull it from processing today, though, until we get the response.
Any other discussion, Commissioner?
There is an issue.
It is on Department 0532, I believe. No, 05. 0522.
0523. It's on page 2.
So I'm seeing that amount is $941.78. Well, if we're gonna take it out, our habit has always been to name the exact dollar amount that we were paying, so let's use a calculator and take it out.
But if you approve that, then that means I can't pay the bill if we are going to be held to paying that bill.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying just leave it as.
I think it
such.
works better the way it is.
Okay.
Because if they agree to a lower bill, she's gonna pay that lower bill.
And if they don't, then it would be this amount.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, any other discussion? Not, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 23, Mark Precinct 1, informational items, no deliberation or action. This section is for receipt of information only. Commissioners may ask clarifying or make fact-based questions. No deliberation, decisions, or actions. The staff will occur. One, announcements by commissioners. Two, status updates and information moment.
Yeah, so, I worked with, Ms. Evan to put this on there. This way, we don't have to sign up for public comment. We have an item here if we need to make a comment or inform people about something that's coming up or whatever. So under announcements, I mean, basically, I just want to say congrats to everybody that participated in the stock show, and froze to death, the last 2 days during the auction period. So, I think things went pretty well, considering, we had all the construction and everything else. And so, congratulations goes out to all those kids that participated in that.
So, Commissioner, do you want to do this at the end? Just have that one
Yeah,
segment?
and
That way we
yeah, they can
talk?
take my name off of it. It can be a recurring item so that it's on there every time. You know, a lot of times things come up between, because obviously we set this agenda over a week ago.
A little offended, it only said commissioner, it didn't say judge can make some
Well,
comments.
it should be, we can change that to court. I'll
Okay.
change mine request.
Actually, no, he needs to remain quiet.
If we wanted to ask how the progress is going.
Yeah.
to see how
Just
the
a-
building is-
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, if I may, just, if you want a status of something, just let that staff member know, you know, if you want something from, Dawn or Treasurer or somebody, if they're not here, you might want to let them know ahead of time. I'd like a status on the grant, on the application, on, if something broke, is it getting fixed right? It just allows you to, in open court, discuss things without having to put each agenda item. As long as there's no action that's gonna be taken or deliberated on, then you can bring up, just as Commissioner Martin did, thank you for giving a status. You can just make this a standing agenda item if that's what you want to do.
I think it's a great idea. I also want to say, Christine, you still here? Yeah. Good job on pulling that off over there with your stock show. Y'all did a great job. A lot of people came up to me thanking the county for progress that's going next door. A lot of them, I didn't know how to, I thought they were, you know, but we left the side doors open so the kids could watch the contractors working out there. And there was, again, a lot of big comments about it, so positive comments. All right, anything else on that last item, Mr. Dorland?
The thing is, I mean, show barn, the new build is going pretty good. They got footers and they got beams poured Friday last week. So they're moving forward on that and, you know, it's a big progress that we're moving forward on. We should have, the building showing up next week, so at the end of this week. So we got 6 weeks of construction, so we'll have metal going up in the air here soon. So that construction's gonna take off big time. I know Commissioner Aiken has the San Antonio River Authority scheduled for March 7th, and that will continue. We will still be in construction phase, so it's kind of be the same thing that Commissioner Padilla had at that time. Good job.
You want to make yourself like a meeting, you sign, we're planning that ceremony.
We'll do that later on once we get into it.
Okay. We just want to get there all involved.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about collection, but she wanted to
Just
chime in
real
on this.
quickly, I just wanted to get the court an update. I did have a sit-down face-to-face meeting, Kayla and I did, with the Texas General Land Office regarding the $1.287 million that we were awarded, for the shelter of last resort, which is the front part of the expansion of the front part. They have given us a checklist, and so once we submit all of the checklist requirements, all of the paperwork stuff part of on our part, then the next part would be, I'll be bringing to the court for a decision on selecting the method of construction. And if we're not going to, then we'll go out for our procurement requirements for that project. So that'll be in the next 30 to 60 days.
Can I get a copy of that contract, please?
The GLO contract.
All right, okay, motion to adjourn.
One second, and I know we're moving this way. In regards to that, Sarah has to make final confirmation and send me the bullet point, but right now it is believed that it is gonna be March 7th, the first first Saturday of the month. As soon as they take and make that available, I will push it out to the public. We ask for the public's patience, because this is not the exact way that we would choose to be running this event. It really was nice when we were able to circle around the building, and we just need to tolerate what we have to work with, whenever it comes that time, because there's gonna be a better day, because our exposition center is gonna be something to be proud of, so.
I've said Sarah, but for clarification, it's the collection event.
But it's San Antonio River Authority that is sponsoring it. This time is selected by them with a little bit of input from us, but it allows for the county to take and get rid of waste free of charge. And anytime we can do something like that to help benefit our county, I think it's a good idea. We graciously accept their partnership in this.
I see somebody posted on the next door out, oh, it might be your precinct commission, they dump a bunch of tires in the river there.
No, they dumped some in the creek, but yes.
Yeah. And there was a lot of, like 40 or 50 tires. Right now, I heard 2 or 3 at the same time. So I have to go back again.
Adjourn.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Brazil, second by Commissioner King. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, we are adjourned.
You wouldn't have been nothing, why didn't you just call me out?